So I was at the airport the other day.
Here we go.
And
Episode 6.
The woman at the ticket window had these big, giant breasts.
Huge.
Huge. Just
Nice. Okay.
So the guy ahead of me is headed up to the ticket window, and he goes, "Hey, can I get 2 tickets to Pittsburgh?" So everyone in line starts laughing, and the guy behind me is laughing. So the guy in front of me goes to the guy behind me and says, "Hey, why are you laughing at me? You never messed up before?" And the guy goes, "No, I'm laughing because I messed up this morning. I was sitting with my wife of 20 years, and I meant to say, 'Honey, can you pass the salt?' But instead, I said, 'You fucking cunt, you ruined my life.'"
Oh, boy. You feel better now? You got your joke out of the way for the day?
Mhm.
You feel good? You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting.
With the
pilot?
Yeah.
He turns his mic on. But I could really go now.
"Honey, don't forget the coffee."
Don't forget the coffee. No, it wasn't me. It's a joke. What are you talking about?
You gotta start off episode 6 with a little bit of flavor.
Episode 6. I guarantee you we're not talking about Jamal Adams. How about that? Not happening.
I'm happy with that guarantee.
Not happening. We may get into some weird shit today, but Jamal Adams will not be part of it.
All right.
You like that?
We'll see where it goes.
All right. You want to go to space?
I do.
Let me ask you a question. I offer you $150,000 to go to space. You have to live there for 1 year, and you can't take anybody with you. You have to, what did I say, 100 grand, 150 grand?
How much do astronauts get paid, you think?
I don't know. Got to be a pretty penny, though, wouldn't you think? They're doing a lot.
Or are they just like men of science and they're just,
Doing it for the fun of it?
Yeah.
No. Can't be.
You think it's like a real
Can't
job?
be.
It's like a career?
Yeah, I do think being an astronaut is a career.
So they're
You see many astronaut lawyers
I don't know.
rolling 2 careers at once?
There's also not that many astronauts.
How many astronauts do
So
you
they
think
may
there are?
get paid more for like appearances afterwards than they get paid for actually doing it.
All right, so let's stick with the topic. I give you 150 grand.
Yep.
You not being an astronaut, having no knowledge whatsoever of
Yep.
how
I already know my
any
answer.
type of rocket works. Nothing. You don't know anything. You have to go up. It'll be you and a trained astronaut, so that you can survive up there. You and a trained astronaut. 150 grand, 1 year. You can't take anybody or any of your possessions with you. You doing it?
Yeah.
You would do it.
Do it for free. I'll write my tell-all afterwards when I see all the aliens and whatnot up there.
Do it for free.
Yeah.
No. See, now you're just...
Well, if you're going to give me 150 grand, I'll take the 150 grand.
Of course you would. But free? A year in space?
It's amazing. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Of course it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but I feel like I would be good with maybe like a day or two. Let's see what it's like.
It takes a day to get there.
A week. I'll give you a week. How about that?
All right.
2 weeks. It can be like a nice long trip to Bora Bora. 2 weeks.
See, which do you pick? Bora Bora
Or space?
or space?
I think I'm going to go Bora Bora.
Really?
Yeah, and
You're
I don't
afraid
even
of
know if Bora Bora is a good place. That's just the thing
Oh,
that
it's beautiful.
top of my mind. That's just what came to mind. But I'm 1,000% choosing Bora Bora every single time over space. I don't even know. All right, it takes you a day to get to space. Now you're there. You have 364 days left. What are you doing?
I'm floating around, hitting all the walls, taking pictures of the Earth flying by the window,
Great. That's what?
Eating-
3 days worth of material?
eating out of a little toothpaste container.
Another 2 days worth?
No, that's every day.
I'm
Do
aware
all
of that.
that every day.
I'm aware of that. So don't you
Yeah.
think that would get a little old?
Astronaut stuff like little.
You're not an
space
astronaut.
walks.
That's part of the thing. You're not an astronaut.
So I'm not allowed to do the spacewalks.
You could do the spacewalks, but you're not going to be doing anything scientific aside from literally
Oh, I'll
floating around.
learn. I'm there with an astronaut.
Of course you'll learn, but it's going to take you a while. I mean, these guys go to school forever.
Yeah.
You're only
but
there for a year.
I'm there with the pro, so I'll do all the spacewalks.
I feel like I would get very bored in space. That's just me. Very bored. Is there TV? Can you watch TV? How's the signal?
I think you can get like
You get the
recorded stuff.
Game Pass?
So you'd be fine. You put like a Seinfeld DVD in, you'd be good.
I'll be all right. You give me a Seinfeld DVD, a season or two of Seinfeld, and I can knock out a few hours. I don't know. I'm going Bora Bora. Space to me would be very boring after a while. Floating around.
Yeah, but it's like being at the Grand Canyon for a full year.
Which you would do also?
That might be more boring. Well, I've never seen the Grand Canyon, so it might be beautiful to look at every day.
I'm sure it is. Nobody's debating the spectacle of space. Of course it's beautiful. There's no question. You're going to get some amazing shots of the Earth.
Quarantine is boring.
I agree, but you're going to get some amazing shots of the Earth, and you're going to get a great experience. But how are you not going to be bored after... I'll give you a month, and I don't even know what you're doing for 3 of those weeks. So I'll give you a month. You're telling me you're not going to be bored?
A month? No, because I could spend a good month just photographing different parts of the Earth. Because I've researched that whole part of it.
Photographing the Earth.
From like a space center.
Okay. So how long do you think you could realistically do that before you got a little... All right, how long can I do this?
At least a month.
Okay. Now you got 11 months
Because there's so many
left.
different parts of it, and then if you miss it once, you got to wait.
So 11 months to go.
You got to wait I think 6 or 7 minutes to try again.
If you what?
If you missed the shot you're trying to pull off.
You got to wait. Yeah, okay. All right. So I'll give you a month. You got 11 months left.
I'd find something else to do.
What? You're in space.
I'm sure there's stuff
There's
to do
nothing
up
you
there.
can do. I really think there's nothing
do
to
some
do.
astronaut shit.
I think you're going to be very bored in space.
I'm
very
very
taking
bored
2 weeks
here
in Bora Bora.
sometimes.
I'm taking the 2 weeks in Bora Bora. I'll have a pina colada. You'll be there with your toothpaste.
Who's
going to
come back
out of
with
a
better
toothpaste
photos
can.
and better stories?
I guarantee you will have the better photos and probably the better stories, depending on what Bora Bora has to offer. But
You're not a beach guy. You gonna go to Bora Bora?
listen, I can sit my ass by the pool. All-inclusive resort in Bora Bora.
You don't even know where
All-inclusive.
Bora Bora is.
Not a
You
clue.
can't even spell Bora Bora.
Bora. Dos. I'm telling you, Bora Bora, more appealing to most than space.
I don't know if you're right about that. What about going to Mars? You want to go to Mars?
Now that is different because
With-
nobody's been there.
So with an objective, you're good with it? What if you went to the moon? Very few people have been there. A lot of people have been to Bora Bora.
Okay, listen, my argument is not that I don't want to go and experience these things because I absolutely do. Obviously, it would be one of the coolest experiences ever in the history of literally mankind to walk on the moon. But when you're done walking on the moon, what are you doing with the rest of the time? How are you passing your days?
You act like you do such profound stuff down here on Earth.
I don't do such profound stuff down here on Earth, but there's things to distract me down here on Earth. Where up there, you're floating around a tube.
See,
You can't go out. You can't go for a walk.
I feel like it would take me a long time to get sick of just the spectacle of being in space.
I don't know. Maybe.
Especially if I got to go to
It's possible
if I got
because
to go
you're
to Mars,
in
'cause
space.
you could explore Mars forever.
Mars is different because nobody's ever been there, at least to my knowledge, on foot
No one
from a mankind perspective.
Yeah, we
Nobody's
haven't
ever set
landed
foot
on
on
Mars
Mars.
yet.
Nobody's landed there yet. I think we've dropped some rovers and shit
We have several rovers
on
there.
Mars, but nobody's
Some
ever
have
actually
some
been
have
there.
been kicking for 15 years.
So
Still going.
I think if me and you were to go to Mars, we could explore and actually have a pretty good
Live
time.
stream.
If you can get a signal.
We'll run a really long Ethernet cable.
I think they have those at Dwayne Reed.
Maybe like PC Richards.
Can I get your Galaxy Ethernet, please? Extends the length.
Do you have it in light year?
Lightyear? That's not a bad phone call.
Prank phone call?
Yeah,
We can get into that.
That's
too.
not a bad prank phone call.
Hop onto our YouTube.
Yes.
We got Rich's girlfriend Casey with a really good prank phone call.
We did.
Check
it
go
out.
check it out.
It's good stuff. Streaming on YouTube right now, as well as us. You can see us right now. The 5th episode that they can see us on YouTube. We're also on Spotify and iTunes. So good stuff. Be sure to stream us, subscribe, and follow. I think me and you on Mars, we could have a good time. Because you're very, what's the word? You're a very adventurous explorative. I don't even know if is explorative a word. Explorative.
I think you said it right the first time.
Explorative. You're a very explorative guy. You know, you like to go out and experience new things. You want to wrestle an alligator. We've gotten into that in the past. I think in Mars you would thrive. I think you would be in your happy zone if we were to land on Mars.
So I'm saying I'll do some astronaut shit.
And we don't even know what we're going to find there.
We have an idea.
We have an idea, but what about the unknown?
I mean, the rovers have covered a lot of the territory, but what if we found water? What if me and you...
We discovered water on Mars?
Yeah. We were the ones that got
Do we drink
the names on. I'd let one of the real astronauts test it and do their thing with it first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What if, like, it was Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Rich Warnock, Billy Pop Emanuel?
Sounds like a really, really bad sci-fi movie. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like that's how all great... This could be, you know... In the past, we've dabbled with some writing, some screenwriting, some television stuff. How about that?
I have some sci-fis on
Two guys who host a podcast decide one day that they want to go to Mars. NASA contacts them and says, you know what?
GoFundMe?
You want to go to Mars? Be our guinea pigs. And they go. The rest...
It's almost like Armageddon. Why are you going to send
the writing can take over from there.
Diggers from Texas instead of trained astronauts?
Armageddon's one of my favorite movies.
Really?
Loved it. Loved it.
It's definitely good, but the science behind it is just so laughable.
Sending oil diggers to rescue the planet?
It would definitely take a shorter period of time to teach an astronaut to dig a hole
Than it would to teach a digger to be an astronaut?
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
And even the size of the asteroid in it, they said it was like the size of Texas or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The one that killed the dinosaur was only like a mile wide. It extinct the entire planet. Made the entire planet extinct. And caused an ice age. It was only a mile wide.
Yeah. So this was kind of like a... But isn't that the point? It's unprecedented. It's never been seen before. It's a film.
Well, it's also like... What was the time span in that? Like 3 weeks or something?
They had a little bit of time, not a lot.
They would see that from coming from so far away. We'd have so much warning.
Well, maybe they thought it was going to pass, and then it took a turn and started coming right towards Earth. They weren't worried about it for the first, let's say...
They'd still have it tracked from so far away.
You would think.
It's NASA.
It's Michael Bay.
And Bruce Willis.
Exactly, and Bruce Willis. So, they offered me and you to go to Mars.
Retainer.
That was before his Armageddon days.
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting was before Armageddon.
Not by much, though, right? What was Armageddon, like 2000?
No, I think it was 1990-something. 98, maybe. Well, it's a simple Google search, but not really relevant to what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll go to space.
150 grand? You leaving everybody behind?
Yeah.
Do you think...
Sorry, Mello.
Yeah. Sorry, Mello. What about Lauren?
That's a separate conversation.
That's a separate... do you think it would be hard for you to adapt when you got home after the year? Do you think you'd just jump right back into the fold?
I'm not sure.
Very interesting.
Never
Space is an interesting
been there.
Game, man. Let me tell you.
I hear you grow a couple inches when you've been in space for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, because no gravity, you like get stretched out.
Nice. That's cool.
You'd be almost 7 foot probably.
An extra 6 inches?
No, I think it's only like an inch or two. But
yeah,
still.
that doesn't make sense. 6'5", 6'6". Take that. Our intern.
Licking himself.
How do you think he would do in space? Have animals gone to space?
Yeah.
How do they do?
I think they've sent like some chimpanzees and some monkeys and stuff like that.
Fascinating stuff.
What movie was I watching it recently? I was watching Space Force on Netflix with Steve Carell.
Okay. So not factually accurate at all.
No, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
But they had monkeys that were working on the space station. Yeah. was funny.
You ever wonder why monkeys were the chosen animals to go up to space? Or to get all these demonstrations done on them?
Probably because they're closest to us, like, biologically.
Yeah. I would think so. But if we were trying to figure out if we could live on another planet, shouldn't we be sending everything?
What do you mean, like humans? Right away?
No, I would say, like, let's just see if a cat could survive on Mars.
They may have done that. I'm sure they sent a dog or a cat.
And what happened? You think we would hear if it didn't make it?
We probably wouldn't hear if it didn't make it.
NASA wouldn't report that, huh? Well, it didn't go so well. Rufus didn't come back.
We got a hero ceremony back down here on Earth.
He got a hero's welcome when he returned.
Took all 9 of his lives, but he's a
All
hero.
in one shot. All in one shot.
He is a hero.
All right, we'll look into the space thing. See if NASA's looking for 2 volunteers for Mars exploration. We'll see if that's a possibility.
See if we can get like a garage party podcast grant to build our own.
That's
little
not bad.
SpaceX.
We're trying to get our own garage party podcast brew.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Our own
If you're
beer.
a brewer, a brewmaster.
If you're a brewmaster, contact us because we're very interested in speaking with you. We want our own beer.
We want it now.
We're trying to. That's the case with any beer ever. We're playing around with some names. What do you think? What do you got in the tank so far? I kind of like Party in the Garage. Or should it be like something a little more simple?
The GPP IPA.
That's not bad. GPP though, I don't know if people are gonna know what that stands for.
Oh, we'll make them,
GP isn't that like a gastropub?
I think you're just finding stuff with a G and a P in it.
Nah. Our own beer, that would be really cool. Do
Be
live
something.
shows from a brewery.
It's gonna happen.
We're working on it.
You can even do it from like a restaurant around here on Bell Boulevard. We'll do it in the middle of the street.
Yep. We're working on it.
They have like tables like in the middle of parking spots on Bell now.
Yeah, it's wild. I walk down there all the time and packed.
Yeah.
Jam packed. A lot of people out there dining outside. I don't know how they're doing it today. Today is as hot as it gets.
Super humid, super hot.
Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
I think too cold.
You would rather be too cold?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I feel the same way.
Because like there's no running from the heat. It's just hot.
You're just
Cold, you can put on a lot of layers and you can tolerate it.
well. No,
for
all
longer?
right. So let's throw some stipulations on this bitch. So completely naked, too hot, too cold, and no blankets, no air conditioners. If it's too hot, you have to be
Give
in
me like a temperature range here.
2 hours in a room, too hot or too cold, naked.
But give me like a temperature. Because like what's too hot? For like too hot for what?
10 degrees
I
hotter.
just have to sit there for
10
2
degrees hotter than today.
hours? Like, because I've sat in a sauna for an hour.
All right, no. All right, so maybe naked's not the way to go then, and maybe just sitting there isn't the way to go. So you got to walk
Give me like a task.
5 miles. Too hot or too cold? Naked.
Too cold. 5 miles though?
5
Probably
miles.
die. Like what's too cold? 20s?
Like just before frostbite level. Just before. 5 degrees before.
For the length that I'm going?
Not a polar vortex, but like really fucking cold. You
And
know
I'm
that
naked,
point when
barefoot.
we'll give you some
And
shoes.
what's the terrain? Is it okay?
We'll give
shoes?
you some shoes because we don't want you to lose a toe. You might lose
Well, even in
something
the
else.
heat. Even in the heat.
You got shoes in both
I'd be like,
cases, and maybe something to cover up the junk.
A little loincloth.
Well, that's
So I'm Tarzan.
very sensitive area. Yes,
And
exactly.
I have a 5 mile stretch through either desert or tundra.
No hills. Just walk 5 miles in a row, and when you get to the other end, there's either an air conditioner waiting for you or heat. 5 miles.
I think I take the heat.
But you'd rather be too cold. Very interesting.
Because I don't think the cold will kill me quicker, I think.
The cold.
The heat, I know there's like dehydration,
can't-
but
alright.
you can go 30 days
You
without water.
can't die, and you can't get frostbite. You're just really uncomfortably cold. Like, really uncomfortably fucking cold.
Okay, so then I go. If I can't die, if you're taking death out of the equation,
Death is out of the equation. But cold.
I take the tundra.
You'd take the tundra.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. I don't know what I would take. I think I'd take the tundra too, but there's some days I'm walking out there, I got a big coat on, and, a couple layers, and I'm still fucking cold.
Makes you move faster though.
5 miles.
The heat, like I walk
The
out
heat
into the
slows you
humidity,
down.
and I feel like I'm not moving.
Yeah. You're just
It's
kind of like
oof,
stuck in
everything's in
place.
slow motion.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
It's that island humidity we have over here.
That's very all right. So you'd rather do it in the tundra. Okay. I can respect that. That's a good pick.
Well, this 5 mile task, I think I take the heat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, how about at night when you're trying to go to sleep?
I can't sleep when it's too hot.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
So you'd take being too cold at night.
Yeah, you just you get under the big blankets, throw some sweats on.
Mm-hmm. Make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work.
That I can do.
Okay.
You ever sleep in a tent?
I have not.
I have a couple times.
Any good? Can't be
yeah.
great. Come on. Come on. The whole
It's fine.
idea of
Sleep in a
camping as a whole,
Sleeping bag.
camping as a whole to me, I don't see the appeal. When I think of camping, I think of no air conditioning, mostly done in the summertime, in the woods, bugs everywhere.
Keep going. You haven't
You're-
been wrong yet.
You're eating stuff that you cooked off a pile of rocks that you scraped together to make fire. If you were able to somehow get food.
See, there's levels to camping. There's like hiking out to the middle of the woods.
I'm not talking about somebody who goes camping in like a 80-foot RV. I'm talking about somebody who goes camping and lives in a tent in the woods for 3 days or a weekend, a long weekend.
I mean, you could still like grill up a hot dog over a fire.
How do you shower? How do you bathe?
Probably don't, unless you find a little river or something.
How do you? I mean, so there's different levels to this. Are we talking about like legit camping where you have to find your food?
Oh, I would like to try that.
I mean, like,
I
are
don't know
we
if
talking
I'm
about
probably
like
not qualified, but
you got to find your food, catch it, whatever the hell it may be?
so you're talking like
Kill it.
Bear Grylls, like
Yeah,
make your own shelter, everything.
make your own shelter, almost like Castaway, but voluntarily.
I mean, I would try it. It's not ideal. Like for I wouldn't consider that vacation.
No, it's more of a challenge.
Yeah,
Would you do that? 1 week.
1 week.
1 week in the wilderness.
Do I have Bear Grylls with me?
No, you're on your own.
I'm not gonna last.
Why not?
I've never done that before.
A week?
Does anyone know I'm
Well,
there?
all right. So what? Yeah, people know you're there. They dropped you
You're
off.
putting me through some intense hypotheticals today.
As soon as they drop you off, they start the clock.
Space travel, tundras and deserts.
It's
and
episode 6, Billy.
it's episode 6.
It's episode 6. It's big time. They drop you
You
off.
got your 2 pickets to Pittsburgh.
I am en route. I am en route. They drop you off. They start the clock 7 days from that point. They come back and they get you exactly 7 days later. You have to survive. Can you? No clothing.
I don't know. No clothing.
No clothing.
Naked and afraid style.
Naked and afraid style. No clothing. You got to make it, find it.
I feel like some
Wear
of those
it.
guys just know so much stuff.
Well, I feel like you're an adventurous guy. I
Yeah,
said it
but they-
before.
they
you're
know,
very,
they
you're,
know
you're a
what
survivor.
Plants to lead them which way and
Yeah, you don't know those things?
no
I don't either.
how to make a shank with a bow and arrow or how to make a weapon to kill a deer.
I'll give you a knife.
I have a knife.
You have a knife, and you got a match. Not a match, like a
Flint?
lighter. A lighter.
Flint.
A flint?
Yeah.
What is a flint?
It's to spark.
No. You got a lighter. You could light stuff.
Okay.
A knife, a lighter, and a canteen that's unfilled. You got to fill it.
Yeah. I don't know how I do. Probably not very well.
7 days.
I don't know if I make it 7 days.
You don't know if you make it? You have to.
Not for lack of trying.
So what would be your first move? I would say you've got to find something that you can eat, or else you're gonna get weak pretty quick, and then you're really not gonna make it.
No, I think I'd start with finding an area that I can set up a camp.
Call your own home for
Yeah,
those
like,
7 days.
That part I think I could do pretty well. Like make a little house out of branches and whatnot and leaves.
Maybe there's a cave.
See, that's dangerous because like what's living in that cave?
Maybe your dinner.
I do have a knife.
You got a knife. Not gonna do you very good against a grizzly.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of wilderness we're talking about here.
See. Yeah, there's a lot of variables.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I start with the shelter
Should we do this? Should we do this as a challenge?
and just set it up. You're gonna helicopter me in somewhere.
No, you could do it in like the woods somewhere.
Like I just told you, I probably will die.
So, all right, what concerns you the most?
Dying.
No. Aside from death, because obviously death concerns us all. Aside from death, from the thought of it, what concerns you the most about being dropped off in the wilderness for 7 days? What worries you the most? What keeps you up at night?
So like, is this like a plane crash scenario? I'm the only survivor. It's in the middle of the woods.
Sure,
Like I.
but
like,
for 7 days, and then you get rescued.
yeah, I don't know if I could just find my own food and cook it. And
Yeah, that would be my main concern. Would be the food.
it's probably the hardest part.
What about bugs?
Yeah, bugs will suck too. They could probably kill you also.
It depends. Infections.
And water is obviously important too.
Do you see my point here? All of this is camping.
No.
This is camping. What we
No.
just discussed here.
No.
It absolutely is. Except you have a tent.
No.
And maybe you bring your own food in a cooler.
There's different levels to this camping. That's like wilderness survival. That's not camping.
The only difference is you are bringing shelter with you, and you can opt out and leave anytime you want. The
Yeah.
bugs are still there. It's still the wild.
I'm talking just
Anything
like
could come out at you at any point.
at a
Just because you got a
campsite.
tent is not going to protect
I'm
you.
talking at a campsite.
No,
with like
no,
a beautiful
yeah, overlooking a nice
area
brook.
or-
Yeah, don't give me that nonsense. I'm talking about you drive out in the middle of the woods with a tent and some food.
Oh, so now I have a tent.
Well, like
And now I have
camping.
food.
Like camping.
Yeah.
People go camping that
Yeah. that I
don't
could do.
necessarily go to.
I don't. That I could do. I'm not prepared to like
Survive in the.
main an animal. Like I don't. I've
But
never
you're
done it.
the one who wanted to wrestle an alligator.
Yeah. If that was the first time I wrestled an alligator, he better be ready. Because then it's my fucking survival.
It also is. It's. He's
I'd be
dinner.
like, instructor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not here.
There is no instructor, and all I have is this goddamn knife.
Drive it right through his head.
Yeah, good luck with that. You know how thick that skin is?
Very
We've been over this before. You never get no. You're better off fishing. Much better off finding a body of water and throwing a spear
I've also never
through a
fished.
fish.
I've never gone fishing.
This is not fishing. This is not with a Zepco reel. This is like you find a stick and throw it at a fish that you see running. Or if you really want to get creative, try and just grab it with
I've
your
gone
bare
crabbing.
hands.
I've never gone.
I've gone
fishing.
crabbing. Yeah. Crabbing's tough in the wilderness. You don't have a rope. You don't have chicken. You don't have a cage.
I have a chicken leg. So
Yeah.
Pull up.
You also have a flashlight, so maybe you could use that for the
now-
for the crabbing.
All right, we're getting there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the flashlight really helps.
Crabbing,
What am I gonna shine it at a deer or bear?
I'd rather see my enemy.
I think I'd rather let them.
Just take you.
Yeah, in the darkness.
I don't know about that.
I probably hear them coming.
What's the animal you're afraid of the most?
Animal I'm afraid of the most.
I have a good one.
Like on a daily basis.
I mean, daily basis, but also like if you were, yeah, it has to be something that you could legitimately come in contact with. Like, don't give me like a wolf, because you know the odds of you coming in contact with a wolf are slim to none.
So like
Unless you see one at a zoo.
a really hungry like pit bull. Like, what am I gonna see?
That's what the animal
What
you're
am I
afraid
gonna
of the
see in
most?
Queens?
I would no. Like you've been on a bunch of different trips. Thailand, sharks. The only not a pit bull is what scares you the most.
Sharks don't attack that often.
If you were out in the ocean
I guess
in Thailand,
sharks more likely than most stuff.
I have a one, and it terrifies me to death.
Shark,
Snake,
snake.
because they lay in the grass. You can't see them, and one bite, all over. They could be poisonous. You're done. It's just over for you.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Terrifying. And they're also super quick, so you can't outrun a snake.
Yeah. I mean, I would think I would channel my inner Steve Irwin.
Yeah, look how that turned out for him.
Stingray. That's scary.
Stingrays are scary, but those are almost like the most friendly of the sea
No,
creatures.
they're not friendly.
I mean, if you're going to try to ride its back like Steve Irwin did, yeah, you're probably going to get stung. But if you go to an aquarium, you can pet them and shit. It's not like...
They don't really like it. They don't like being pet.
They don't seem to cause much of a fuss. I've pet them. We've pet them. What was that aquarium we went to?
Is that Chicago?
I think so. Pet them.
That was Shed's Aquarium.
Very sandpaper-like skin.
Yeah.
Smooth.
You ever held like a snake?
Never. I would never in this life come within 10 feet of
I've
one.
held like a pretty decent sized snake. I've held the boa constrictor actually.
Never. Never. First
In,
of all, that always terrifies me because, again, they have no bones, so they can just whip around and bite you right in the neck.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool when you hold them. You feel how strong they are.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a barrel of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's pretty cool.
No interest. Why would anybody want to risk life and limb by holding a snake? Unless it's drugged.
It looks slimy, but it's not. It's interesting.
So
You gonna drug it just to hold it?
I would. It would have to be heavily, heavily sedated. Absolutely. No way around it. Think about it. If you're holding a snake like this and its head is dangling by your knee, if it wants, there's nothing stopping it from leaning back up and biting you right in the neck. Or eye or face.
Possible.
Depending on his aim.
I never held a poisonous one, but
It doesn't matter. You get bit in the neck by a snake,
I'm not gonna die.
why don't you do it and let me know?
I don't want to get bit by a snake, but I don't think I would die.
Who does?
I would die if you dropped me off in the middle of the wilderness. We went over that.
That's why I'm a little worried about, like, Arizona or Vegas. The snake capitals of the world.
Scorpions also.
Yeah, those are probably number 2 for me because they go in your shoe.
Yeah, scorpions are pretty scary.
I mean,
There's also some really scary like birds out there, like vultures.
but usually they will not attack unless they sense something is dying or already dead. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see your point with the birds because they can fly.
Like
which
a bald
is kinda
eagle can pick up a
terrifying.
deer.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. Literally carry it in its talons back to its nest. Terrifying.
That's scary.
Terrifying.
But what if you were in like a safari and there was a lion?
Yeah, that would be equally as terrifying. But I'm more likely on a daily basis to encounter a snake than I am a lion. Living in Queens, we don't get many.
That's what I was saying. Like a fucking hungry pit bull or a diseased pigeon.
Yeah.
There's some huge
diseased.
pigeons around here.
I have noticed a lot of big pigeons
They're
around
really
this
big.
neighborhood. They might just be feeding off of everything on Bell.
Could be. They're
don't
eating
know.
at the Bourbon Street rooftop
Yeah,
bar.
maybe that's what it is. Pigeons are eating good over here.
There was one that landed on my air conditioning yesterday. I think it was fucking.
Massive.
Had to be at least this big. This big.
There you go. So birds are another fear of yours, but sharks don't do it for you. That's very interesting.
It depends where I am.
I would be terrified if I was out in the ocean and saw
It's
a
really
fin.
not
We've
that
been over this.
likely.
I think
yeah, you think about it.
seeing a fin to me out in the middle of the ocean, helpless, one of my biggest fears in the world.
It's probably why you just don't go in the ocean very much, do you?
Not very far. If I do, I'm not usually going past my knees.
Yeah, I like to swim as far out as I can.
Yeah.
Which sometimes, the thought crosses your mind, for sure. It's
How could it not?
You just see this
How could it not?
all just blue underneath you.
You can't stand. You're just floating.
Especially, like, out here on Long Island because the water's, like, not that clean.
Yeah, you can't see what's below you. Come on. That is an ultimate fear.
Like, Thailand, I was able to see all the way down. So, like,
All the way out,
not, like, the whole ocean.
but you were able to see.
Beneath
Like,
me.
you would be out
I could see
pretty
beneath
far.
me.
And you
And
could
then,
see
like,
below
I've
you.
swam out in Puerto Rico, too, like past the buoys. But I was able to see a decent amount of space below me
Now, aren't the buoys supposed to be where you're supposed to stop?
sometimes. I think in this case, yes.
Or is that more of just a guideline?
I think it was just because there was boats there, so it's like tells you how deep. It's like a marker.
One of my biggest fears. Out in the ocean, can't
There's not
stand.
sharks just everywhere, though.
It doesn't matter. That's not the point. Think about being in that situation where you're out in the ocean, as far as you could possibly go. You can't stand anymore. Now you're just floating, and all of a sudden you feel something brush up against you, and then you see a fin. Where are you going, and what are you doing? There's nothing. If the shark wants you, it's
gotta-
game over.
You gotta fucking punch that shark in the nose.
It's game over. Done. The odds of you punching it in the nose and surviving,
the odds it even bites you
I don't even want to.
are probably the same.
I'm even just talking about like losing a leg. I'm not even talking about death. How are you going to escape that situation without at least losing a limb? At the in that situation when you're out in the middle of the ocean and you feel something brush up against you and see a fin, at best, you're only losing an arm. That is the best case scenario.
The leg might be more likely, right?
Either way, a limb. You're losing something. Something that you went into the ocean with, you're not coming out with.
Even if it doesn't bite you, you're losing your pride and dignity.
I would certainly lose mine.
When you scream like a girl when you see the fin.
It wouldn't be that. It would be the shit in my pants when I finally got back to shore.
Another new embarrassing moment for you?
Yeah, I think that might overtake
That
it.
wouldn't
but
be embarrassing.
That's
though.
not even
You'd be-
embarrassing.
Yeah.
I would be First of all, you think I would give a fuck? I just survived a shark
That's
attack.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'd wear it like a badge of honor. Terrifying.
They call that shark sugar, though.
Terrifying. Ugh. That's why you're not supposed to pee in the ocean.
they
That's
call
what
that-
they say.
They call that shark sugar
What is that?
when you shit. It makes them want to bite you more. When you shit your pants.
Why? I think that also works the same if you pee in the ocean. Isn't that the same? They tell you you're not supposed to bleed or pee in the ocean because it attracts sharks. Is that correct, or is that just something that I've been
bleeding,
told my
definitely.
entire life?
The bleeding, definitely.
Yeah, because they think that it could be like a wounded seal.
I've definitely peed in the ocean hundreds of times, though.
Of course, we all have. But you're not supposed to. Blood could be like a wounded seal. They think that they got an easy layup here. Terrifying. Terrifying. Just thinking about it now is giving me some anxiety.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
I don't put myself in a situation where I, where
So
I
no
would.
camping, huh?
Not a camper. Definitely not a camper. Camping just has all the things that I don't really
You wouldn't go?
particularly care for. I guess I would once. It would have to be extremely, extremely like structured. Like a tent with an air conditioner.
You
A
might not
lot
get
of
the air conditioner.
a lot of bug spray.
You can get the bug spray.
Does bug spray ever even do anything? Have you
I don't know.
ever sprayed bug spray on yourself and it actually worked? Ever? I think that the bug spray industry as a whole, one of the biggest scams in the country.
Could be.
One of the biggest scams in the country. I have never in my life sprayed myself with a bug spray and was like, you know what? The bugs are gone. When has that ever happened?
It's got to do something.
I don't think it does a damn thing. I think that they're all just laughing at us.
I think like some of the citronella products work. Like
I've
those,
never been out
those
in an
candles
area.
and those torches. I think those help a little bit.
Keep them away a little bit.
Yeah.
But are they ever really away? No.
Also, we're in Long Island, so it's
Buggy.
buggy.
But I have never in my life used a bug spray and been like, wow, what a product.
I think it helps.
They
to
just
an
magically
extent.
all disappeared.
I think it helps to an extent.
I don't know about that.
But they probably, in order for it to work, they'd have to change the formula so many times.
In order for what to work? The bug spray?
Yeah,
What do you mean change the formula?
just based on survival of the fittest. Because the ones that don't eat our blood are gonna die. So if that bug spray works, they'd have to change the formula for the next breed of mosquito, and they'll have to keep changing it.
Well, isn't the bug spray just a repellent?
Yeah.
It's just supposed to keep them away from.
If it repels them from us, they're gonna die and get weeded out. Though the ones that don't go to the repellent, and then they're gonna have to keep changing the repellent.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's survival of the fittest.
What are you saying?
Okay.
The mosquitoes are going to die because they're not eating us?
Yeah.
No, there's always some other schmuck behind you on the trail that doesn't have bug spray. Believe me, they'll be fine. They can also eat animals.
But most likely, say we all have the repellent on.
So now nationwide, almost like a vaccine, we all have bug repellent.
Yes. So the ones that aren't drawn to that repellent and stay away from it aren't going to eat, and they're going to die. And the ones that go to it anyway are going to breed other mosquitoes.
No, you're way
exactly
way
how
off.
it works.
No,
it's Mother Nature.
You're just wrong, because there are 10,000 mosquitoes that live on these private islands where there's no humans. How are they surviving without humans? The same way they would survive if we all had a vaccine.
There's still animals for them to bite.
Exactly. You can't give every animal a vaccine.
But it could be the life or death where they are.
There's always something for bugs to eat. I do not think that the bugs would have an issue. I think
it definitely plays a toll, especially in places that are populated by humans. You're talking about desert islands now, just to disprove my...
But how are those mosquitoes surviving without humans now?
The ones on the islands?
Yeah.
They're doing just fine.
How?
Because they're biting stuff.
What stuff?
Pigs. Swine.
That's a pig. So you're telling me... Well, first of all, what's the issue with losing the mosquito population?
I don't know if they do anything. I don't think they do anything.
I don't think that they do anything except annoy us.
Carry disease.
Yeah. So maybe that's something that the CDC, when they're done with this whole coronavirus thing, they should look into. Could be worth it.
Yeah,
Could be worth it.
I don't know if they serve a purpose.
I think every...
Maybe they do.
I think every world citizen's every day would be improved
Might
without
just be
insects.
feeding other insects.
Without mosquitoes.
Might maybe just feeding other insects is their only purpose.
For other insects to eat them?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Like I know spiders do.
Spiders also eat other things too, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. CDC, get to work on the mosquito repellent thing. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. And you know why? Because the people who sell us the bug sprays can't even get it figured out.
Well, they might not want to. Like Off might be a big player.
Maybe they're for the mosquitoes. They want mosquitoes to bite us.
Exactly.
Big.
That's how they make their money. It's like the pharmaceutical companies.
Think maybe there might be like a big conspiracy going on here. A big chain of events. Everybody's working hand in hand to expand the mosquito population.
Imagine making a product like what if suntan lotion was like that?
This is almost, I mean, if suntan lotion was like what? If it was
like how we
not
think it's
actually working?
Or like how
suntan lotion does work though.
Like how we thought SPF 50 and SPF 5 and you pay more. I don't know if it is more. I've never actually bought sunscreen. So is SPF 50 more money than the SPF 5?
I don't think that there is a 5. I think the lowest might be like 20.
Okay. So
5 is basically your regular skin. You're just putting something on for... I mean, SPF goes as high as like 50. Sometimes I think it might even go higher. There are certain prescription brands that go way high, where you actually come back from the beach whiter than when you got there.
So I'm saying, like, what if they're all just the same? What if they're just like a liquid?
And they're all just... And they're just selling upcharging for the higher SPFs?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or just making you feel safe about it.
I don't think so, though.
And they're giving you skin cancer.
And then they blame the sun.
Yeah. You got to buy more of our product.
Yeah. Who knows? These things are never going to be answered. Never going to be answered. I always think about the people who created these things. Think about the guy who created the little umbrella in cocktails. Somebody had to come up with that.
I don't think that serves a purpose.
It
That's
doesn't.
the invention
But I
you think-
guarantee
you
you
think
that guy's a millionaire.
Could be.
Just he got
Is it
he got
patentable?
rich on umbrella cocktails. Oh, cocktail umbrellas.
Is there anything like patentable about that?
Yeah,
Like you think he has a patent on it?
I'm pretty sure he does. What about the guy who makes the little plastic piece at the end of your shoelace?
The chalet?
Is that what that's called?
Pretty sure.
A chalet?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Who makes them? He's rich.
Do you think there's a patent on that? There could. What is the? I guess it's very helpful because otherwise you wouldn't be able to lace your
You
shoes.
can't lace your shoes without that. It's huge. It's a great product. When really all it is cylindrical plastic.
See, like the ones like on my hoodie things, I always bite them, and they end up coming off. And then to get my string back in when
You can't do it.
I have to light it with a lighter.
And get
It
it.
makes it all hard.
Oh, okay. Or you could just not bite it.
I can't not bite it.
Things to think about. Things to think about, Billy. People are getting rich off of us, selling us bug spray and chalets.
And possibly suntan lotion.
And what do you think it costs to make a chalet? If chalet is actually the word. What can that possibly cost?
I can't even see it costing a penny.
I can't see that costing anything.
Does it cost a penny? No.
I'm
Maybe.
sure it costs a penny.
Has to
maybe.
cost at least a penny, right?
Something like if you have a machine that molds the
Or
plastic.
maybe you get like 100 of them for a penny.
Well, I'm sure that chalets come in different sizes, correct? Because there's different size laces, right?
Yeah,
all
different
chalets.
gauge.
Yeah.
Let's look up if they're even called shallots.
I don't even know if they're called
Not-
shallots.
I'm not even 1,000% sure about that. Let's look.
Where
it
did
up.
you get shallots from if you're not even 1,000% sure?
I think it's Snapple fact.
But in all seriousness, think about it. The guy who came up with the chalet, we'll call it that until you get the actual answer, is a millionaire, if not a billionaire, because everybody has them. Everybody needs them.
Close. An aglet.
An aglet. Everybody needs them. Everybody.
AGLET.
Everybody. There's not a person in this
I was
world,
close.
not a person in this world that does not at one point or another in their life used an aglet. They're on everything.
I'm seeing if someone owns the patent. Does someone own the patent?
Just say, does someone own aglets?
Well, plenty of people own aglets.
Imagine
I got a
that.
whole rack of aglets
We
over
sit
there.
here every single Thursday, and we drop episodes of the Garage Party Podcast every Friday. And you know why we do that? Because we're trying to get big, and we're trying to monetize it, and we're trying to make money. And somebody corners the aglet market. Imagine that. Somebody woke up one day and said, you know what sneakers need? Aglets. And I'm going to make them, and I'm going to make $1 billion off them. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so this goes way back. The Roman era.
I mean, sneakers have been around forever.
The Roman era.
Well, I
Would
don't
have
care
their-
about the beginning of the aglet. I'm talking about who makes them now, and who's made them for the past 50 years. Got to be a big company.
Popularized by an English inventor named Harvey Kennedy, who is said to have earned. Want to guess?
Is this how much money on the aglet?
Yep. And this was in 1790s.
Million?
You going with a million? Cool million?
1790? And are we talking about money?
Just off the production of the little knotty piece at the end of your shoe.
But are we talking about the money now or what he made back then?
Not adjusted for inflation. How much
Okay.
he made then?
1790?
Yeah.
10 grand?
2.5 million.
2.5 million in 1790? That was probably like 80 billion.
Should I do inflation?
That was probably like $80 billion on the aglet.
Well, wait, where was he also? He was in England.
So euros.
But this was coming from a Huffington Post article, so it may have already been adjusted for inflation, honestly.
Okay.
$2.5 million, though. Off the aglet.
That's in 1790, though. Who makes them now?
They're put there by special machines. The machines wrap plastic tape around the end of the new shoelaces and use heat or chemicals to melt the plastic onto the shoelace and bond the plastic to itself.
So do you think Nike and Jordan and Puma,
They do it themselves.
they do it themselves, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
So really it's this Harvey Kennedy that channeled and cornered the aglet market.
For that period, yeah.
Well, he set the tone.
Yeah.
He set the tone, and everybody's been using them ever since.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Important stuff.
Listen, you learn something new every day on the Garage Party Podcast, and today it was the aglet.
And Rich doesn't want to go to space.
That's not true. I said I would. I said I would go.
Do a live stream. Maybe
Live stream from space.
episode 30. You know? Episode 13. Like Apollo 13.
So within the next 7 weeks, we'll be trained to go to Mars.
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
You know, there's some
I
logistical
hope
issues,
you're right.
but we'll get over them.
Yeah. I like it. I'm looking up a good joke to close the show with, just so you know what I'm doing here.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm trying to find a good one to
While he does that,
should I do we want a dirty joke? Do we want a what do we want? Dirty joke? Standard joke?
just hit me with something.
Hit you with something. I don't know if I want to do this one or another one. I'm torn between two jokes.
Where is this coming from? You just Googled
I literally Googled good jokes.
good jokes.
Why do vegetarians give good head?
I don't know.
Because they're used to eating nuts. Eh?
Ah.
Not good.
That wasn't good.
Pittsburgh definitely better.
Yeah.
You really worked hard on that Pittsburgh
My
thing.
my
man.
delivery was terrible.
You worked hard on
Little
it.
do they know it took 3 times.
You worked hard on that.
Took 3 tries.
Yeah. Should we include those on the
The bloopers?
blooper reel?
Nah, probably not.
Blooper reel's growing though.
Blooper reel is growing.
Good show today. Good show. What are we at?
57 minutes. Well,
Nice.
yeah, I think it's a little less than that because I had it running for
Okay.
some of those blunders.
Good show though.
Yeah.
Went down some more rabbit holes. I know you're always in for those. A lot of hypotheticals on the show today. I'm gonna try to get us a guest for episode 7.
You've been saying that for a couple weeks now.
No, I wanted us to get like several episodes under our belt first before we start introducing guests. But I'm gonna try to get us a guest, and we're taking a break this week on the Fat Fuck Adventure. It'll be back next week. Maybe we'll bring it back next week. Maybe 2
We
weeks.
can end the show with that.
And the show with
with-
what?
A little preview.
Of what?
Got something special in that box right there.
What do we got? Oh boy. Oh boy. I thought the show was done, and look at Billy. He's breaking it out. Oh.
Throw these suckers on.
Absolutely. So, you want to explain this while I put them on? Should I take the headset off first?
See
You
if
explain.
it works. You may have to take it off, yeah. But what these that Rich is throwing on now are drunk goggles. So what Rich is seeing inside of those goggles is supposed to be like he's blackout drunk, and he can't even get his headset back on. You're all tangled. Let me help you. There you go. That's backwards.
I'm back.
That's backwards. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Okay. How do I look?
You look ridiculous.
It's pretty much what I figured.
It looks like Steve
So-
Buscemi and Mr. Deeds.
I was waving at that squirrel over there. So, what the hell are you showing me? I can't see anything.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So basically, what?
So if you're listening and not watching,
Boy, these are interesting. This
They-
actually
they
is what
look-
it's like when you're drunk.
they look like ski goggles. Good, stand up. You might get cut off camera a little bit, but stand up a little bit. See what's going on. Don't step on Mello.
I'll wait until we're off, and then you can film that and throw it on the YouTube. Wow. Whew.
So we're going to mess around with these drunk goggles. Head over to our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to see some funny content. We'll also be on the Instagram, at Garage Party Podcast, and probably the TikTok as well, at Garage Party Podcast. Rich is having some fun with these goggles.
So I think what Billy told me that he bought these things. And one of the ideas, we tried to come up with ideas of things that we can do while wearing them. Wow, this is interesting. One of the things, we tried to come up with ideas of things we could do while having these drunk goggles on. And I think one of the things we're going to try to do is cook.
I think it'll be really funny.
I think it would be good content for us to try to cook with these things on, although I don't know how good the food's going to turn out. But I think it would be interesting.
It's more about the challenge of trying to complete a task.
Yeah.
Wearing these, which Rich could barely put his headphones on. So
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see how we're going to be able to do much of anything in these things.
Are you looking at me?
Yeah. I don't see how we're going to be able to do anything because I got to be honest with you. These are pretty tough. Your light's actually tripping me out here.
How many of them do you see?
Oh, it looks like it literally looks like the ending of E.T. It looks like I'm going home.
You found home? You phone home?
I guess. They found me.
Do you see multiple of me?
At least 3.
Yeah.
At least 3.
It doesn't look like you're looking at me at all.
I think I'm staring right at you. I see you.
Pick the one in the middle.
This is going to be good content.
Do your jab now. Let's see. All right, he hit it.
There we go. It's because I found it. Where'd you go? Oh, wow. These are going to be interesting. All right. Well, I think that's a show.
That's a show.
What a preview, though, for episode 7 for these people, huh? Keep an eye on the YouTube. Wait till you see what we do with these damn things.
Should be some good content coming everywhere. So that's YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Instagram at Garage Party Podcast, TikTok. Oh, let's see if you can write your name. Write your name on there.
That'll close it out. Write my name, or should I write like a sentence? I'll write a note to the fans.
Okay. Try and write in between the lines.
What?
Like, pick a line and just try and write in it. That's actually pretty good.
Have a good day, everyone.
Peace. Actually, I don't think we were recording.
Get the fuck out of
I'm
here.
kidding. I'm fucking with you.